Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Badrul Amin bin Abdul Isha, and I will present my research about the theory of perceived behavioral control, the awareness of students Seremban towards global warming. Now, I will explain about research background of the study. According to new research, human activities began to influence the Earth's ecology even before the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Furthermore, the rate at which these changes has occurred is extraordinarily rapid when compared to previous periods. In both science and governance, this realization has resulted in significant shifts in the objectives, priorities, and decision-making process according to Doughty 2013. When sunlight reaches the surface of the Earth, global warming begins to occur. NASA 2010. The clouds, atmospheric particles reflecting ground surface and ocean surface then reflect approximately 30% of the sunlight into space, with the other 30% absorbed by the water, air, and land surface. As a result, the surface of the planet and the atmosphere heat up, making it possible for life to exist on the surface. NASA 2010. In the meantime, part of the emitted radiation is reabsorbed by gases such as carbon dioxide and water vapors, as well as ozone and methane in the atmosphere, and is radiated back to the Earth's surface. As a result of their ability to trap heat, these gases are usually referred to as greenhouse gases. The fact that this reabsorption process is beneficial should not be overlooked, as the Earth's average surface temperature would be extremely low if greenhouse gases were not there, according to US EPA 2022. Since action may be deliberative and planned, the theory of planned behavior is a theory that predicts intentional behavior. Edison 1985. It is proposed in the theory of planned behavior that behavior is determined by three components or determinants, which are attitude, perceived behavior control, and subjective norm. Edison 2005. According to Edison and Fishburne 1977, attitudes toward behavior are defined as evaluative statements about an object that can be positive or negative. Van Nippenberg 2002. When people express their behavioral intention, we can observe how hard they are willing to try and how much effort they are preparing to put forth to execute a certain action. Edison 1991. Now I will explain about problem statement. The long-term heating of the Earth's climate system that has been seen since the pre-industrial period between 1850 and 90 is believed to be caused by human activity, principally fossil fuel combustion, which raise heat-trapping greenhouse gas levels in the Earth's atmosphere. NASA 2020. Rain, snow, clouds, wind, floods, and thunderstorms are all instances of natural phenomena that we are all familiar with. WHO 2003. A climate, on the other hand, is defined as the long-term regional or even a global average of temperature, humidity, and precipitation patterns over a period measured in seasons, years, or decades. NASA 2020. Since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, the climate has been rapidly warming because of human activity affecting the makeup of our atmosphere. Turrentine 2021. With a rise in the number of these compounds in the atmosphere, they can hold an increasing amount of heat at the atmospheric level, causing the planet to become increasingly hot. Pereira 2017. A large portion of today's CO2 is created by the combustion of fossil fuels, which are utilized for a variety of purposes, including heating, driving automobiles, and power industry. Pereira 2017. Even though some highly potent greenhouse gases such as hydrofluorocarbons (HFCs) and perfluorocarbons (PFCs) are created solely in industrial processes such as methane and nitrous oxide, they are also found in nature. Changes in weather pattern as well as a rise in extreme climate events such as drought, floods, and storms are all possible results of climate change. WHO 2003. This would result in a drop in agricultural productivity, a rise in illness and other health concerns, and other negative consequences. Bamber 2013. Some experts contend that global warming is a natural phenomenon and that as a result, the advised reductions in energy use are both ineffective and wasteful. OECD 2019. The immediate consequences of climate change may be observed in the destruction of natural resources, infrastructure, and the environment, as well as the health risks that humans are exposed to. OECD 2019. Now, I will present about research question and research objective. For research question, what is the level awareness regarding global warming among people in UiTM Seremban 3? 2. What are the factors influencing awareness on global warming among people in UiTM Seremban 3? 3. What are the most influential variables influencing people's knowledge of global warming at UiTM Seremban 3? For research objective, first is to determine the awareness of global warming among students at UiTM Seremban. Second, to investigate the relationship between attitudes, perceived behavioral control, and subjective norms towards the awareness of global warming among UiTM Seremban students. And third, to investigate the most influencing factor that affects the level of awareness of global warming among UiTM Seremban students. This is my conceptual framework for a dependent variable. It has attitude, perceived behavior control, and subjective norm. For variable, it is UiTM Seremban students' awareness towards global warming. This is my hypothesis development. For attitudes towards global warming, HO1, there is no relationship between attitudes and global warming awareness. HA1, there is a relationship between attitudes and global warming awareness. Perceived behavioral control, HO2, there is no relationship between perceived behavioral controls and global warming awareness. HA2, there is a relationship between perceived behavioral control and global warming awareness. For subjective norms towards global warming awareness, HO3, there is no relationship between subjective norms and global warming awareness. HA3, there is a relationship between subjective norms and global warming awareness. For research methodology, research design, we use quantitative method and cross-sectional survey. For sampling technique, non-probability convenient sampling approach. For unit of analysis, students from UiTM Seremban 3, Negeri Sembilan, which is FSPPP, FSKM, and FSR. For sample, 300 respondents among students of the FSPPP, FSR, and FSKM at UiTM Seremban 3. For data measurement, I use a Likert scale. Data collection, there are 5 sections, which is Section A, demographic profiles, Section B, student awareness, Section C, attitudes, Section D, behavioral, Section E, subjective norm. For data analysis, we use 3. First, descriptive, statistic, mean, and standard deviation. 2, Pearson correlation, and 3, multiple regression. Findings, there is demographic profiles. 113 people come from male and 187 people come from female who answered this survey. For each range, 18 years old below, only 5 people. 18 to 24 years is the highest, 283 people. And 25 to 29 years, there are 12 people. The highest percent is 18 to 24 years, which is 94.3%. For faculty, the highest is FSPPP, 109 people answer, give a percentage 63.7%, the highest one. For research objective 1, to the main awareness of global warming among students at UITS Medical, the hypothesis is majority of respondents are engaging in awareness of global warming. The mean is 4.2938, means majority of respondents are engaging in awareness of global warming. For second objective, to investigate the relationship between attitude, perceived behavior control, and subjective norm towards the awareness of global warming among the UITS robotic students, the H1 is accepted. There is a relationship between attitudes and global warming awareness. For HA2, also accepted, there is a relationship between perceived behavioral control and global warming awareness. For HA3, there is a relationship between subjective norms and global warming awareness. HA3 also accepted. To investigate the most and the least influencing factor that affect the level of awareness of global warming among UITS robotic students, the hypothesis is attitude is the most significant predictor of students' UITM Seremban towards global warming. The attitude is B equal to 0.600. Therefore, the goal of this study is to persuade individuals to utilize public transportation more frequently rather than a significant portion of their personal vehicles to emit greenhouse gas. One of the best methods for people to lessen their carbon footprint is to use public transport. 47% of the carbon footprint of transportation is caused by car. Each family would reduce its annual CO2 emission by 4,627 pounds if only one motorist in each motor of its home used public transportation for a daily commute of 10 miles each way, according to US Federal Transit Administration 2010. Second is stop open burning. The practice of open burning has long been prevalent, not to mention in our nation. People opt to burn rubbish as opposed to properly disposing of it since it is a fast fix and prevents junks from piling up and emitting a foul odor. We would like for this situation to arise far from the dumping area or in a remote place. Because they lack a suitable disposal facility, people in village have long used the well-known traditional way of burning their trash, which lead to their behavior. Third is learn more about environmental protection. Our benefit from learning new things is considerable. Our planet should be maintained in the same manner that we keep our home environment and surround tidy and clean in order to preserve it. By being knowledgeable about environmental protection, we may rescue our deteriorating planet. Due to the massive emission of greenhouse gas that are causing global warming, the ozone layer is thinner. Therefore, spreading knowledge about environmental protection can aid in slowing down or even stopping the process of global warming. First is limited sample size. The research report's initial limitation is that is exclusively concentrate on a particular university, in this case UTM Seremban. This is the only negative outcome from the research. The study's result cannot be applied universally to other schools and may not even be reflective of measures around university. Due to the tiny sample size, the researcher found it challenging to learn more about students' level of understanding on global warming. Second is cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional research, which is only pertinent for short-term application, is the focus of much of this study's attention. Only a limited period of time may be used to judge the reliability of the investigation's results. Additionally, since the students will only distribute the questionnaire once, conducting cross-sectional research prevents you from determining the causal relationship between the two occurrences. In conclusion, the correlation shows that all of the factors that have an effect on students' knowledge of global warming point to a strong and positive relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variables under study. The discussion that followed this study demonstrated that raising awareness of global warming can have a positive impact on people's understanding of the environment. The discussion of this study has provided some recommendation for enhancing people's understanding of the risks posed by global warming.